聚知识，共享世界。中国知网。知识是人类进步的阶梯，科技是第一生产力。当学术出版与现代科技相结合，极大地改变了知识的生产、传播与利用方式。中国知网创办于1995年，发祥于清华大学。1996年12月，全球首个与纸质期刊同步出版的电子期刊《中国学术期刊光盘版》诞生，把中国学术出版与传播推向了数字化、集成化的新时代。历经20多年发展变革，中国知网现已成为国内重要的以数据与技术双轮驱动的知识服务商，面向用户研究、学习和决策需求，提供知识大数据内容与数字化解决方案。中国知网已构建了包含300多个数据库产品与服务平台的知识网络体系，发展了覆盖数字化、网络化、大数据、人工智能各领域的核心技术体系，用户遍及全球80多个国家和地区。中国知网从昔日的全文数字化科研文献情报服务开拓者，发展成为今天国家知识传播和知识服务的引领者。知识巨变，服务创新。中国知网携手国内外学术出版机构，汇聚全球知识资源，为创新提供完备的战略性资源保障。中国知网聚力核心技术研发，帮助读者高效获取知识，总览知识结构，洞悉演化趋势。在航空航天、集成电路、汽车制造等技术密集型行业，在农林水利、医药卫生、财政金融等国际民生领域，精准对接学科建设、产业转型、社会治理等各类创新生态建设需求，有效提升各行业科研效率与创新水平。创新出版，促进传播。中国知网率先启动网络首发，帮助作者和期刊快速确认成果首发权，提升学术成果传播时效，为我国掌握学术话语权、提升文化软实力赢得先机。中国知网提供增强出版模式，实现论文内容的多媒体表达与延伸，扩展了知识应用价值。中国知网打造全球学术成果同台竞技的传播平台，推动中国学术出版走出去。连续9次被评为国家级文化出口重点企业，荣获中国新闻出版走出去先进单位称号。弥合鸿沟，推动共享。中国知网的农业科技书屋直达全国2200多个县区，为乡村振兴做出积极贡献。抗击新冠肺炎疫情期间，中国知网组织高水平科研成果 OA 出版，以最快速度向全球传播，帮助全球医学工作者在第一时间用于疫情防控和相关研究。从开放海量文献到赋能乡村振兴，再到促进科学普及，中国知网以责任担当成就知识价值，将知识的力量传递至社会的每一个角落。2022年4月，习近平总书记提出，要加强学术资源库建设，更好发挥学术文献信息传播、搜集、整合、编辑、拓展、共享功能，打造中国特色、世界一流的学术资源信息平台，提升国家文化软实力。路虽远，行则将至；事虽难，做则必成。2022年12月28日，公司党委正式成立，开启了中国知网发展的新篇章。历史、光荣、梦想交织延展，过去、现在、未来交相汇融。面对人工智能与数据要素2大发展机遇，站在新的历史方位上，中国知网 立足服务科技创新，促进学术传播，承担社会责任的企业定位，实施12345发展战略，聚焦数字出版、增值服务、互联网平台3大核心业务赛道，朝着具有中国特色、世界一流的学术资源信息平台不断迈进。我们愿与您一起，让知识获取更便捷，让各类创新更有力，让学术传播更高效，让文化传承更久远。中国知网，汇聚知识，共享世界。
同方知网携手华为，成功打造我国自主可控、可信增强的知识服务与科研行业大模型——中华知识大模型，简称华知大模型。利用知网全行业、全学科高质量数据，有效解决了通用大模型可信度低、专业性差、逻辑性弱等问题，形成了30多项通用能力体系、12项特色能力。自主研发 AIK-Base 向量知识库，支持标量数据、全文数据、向量数据的混合查询，10亿级高维向量毫秒级响应，100万字文件上传实时向量化，实现文档智能问答、连续对话等高级应用场景。面向知识服务与科研领域全场景，打造了覆盖科研和技术创新全过程的 AIGC 智能应用，包括学术研究助手、学术搜问、智研助手、智能选题、智能写作、AIGC 检测、智能备课等工具，已在教育、科研、政务、医疗、企业等领域得到广泛应用和落地，并赋能出版全过程，打造全流程智能出版平台。在华知 I20+ 专业基础大模型之上，实践人工智能加行动，发布了滤镜法律大模型、医学大模型、制度大模型、专利分析大模型、文化遗产大模型等行业垂直大模型，与行业应用深度融合，以 NLP 为核心，形成 CV 及多模态3大基础大模型，具备跨行业、全学科且融合了语言、视觉、听觉等多模态的理解和生成能力，推出虚拟数字人加华知大模型的水平解决方案，应用于教育培训、公共服务、智能客服等领域，面向矿山、交通、安全等传统领域，推出多模态大模型垂直解决方案，有效促进智能化。华知大模型致力于面向全球客户，打造可融入行业生产系统的专业知识增强大模型，提供云服务、镜像及讯推一体机多样化服务模式，赋能千行百业数字化转型，为催生新质生产力增添新动力。让我们携手，共同打造创新性和实用性兼具的人工智能产业生态，智慧共创，华知未来。
everyone. I'm Kate Robinson, University Librarian at the University of Bath in the UK and a member of the Executive Board of IATUL, the International Association of University Libraries. I'm also Chair of Trustees of CILIP, the Chartered Institute of Library and Information Professionals in the UK. Based in the beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Georgian city of Bath, in 1996 my library became the first in the UK to open 24/7, and it remains the busiest and most popular physical and digital space of the university. As a member of IATUL, I know that China's library section is thriving, and I'm looking forward to sharing perspectives with Chinese colleagues and building connections and partnerships with you. And I know that WAL conferences are an excellent opportunity to learn about the unique characteristics and progress of libraries from colleagues in different countries. I think this makes the 5th Forum on the Future of World Academic Libraries a rare opportunity to enrich discussions and collaborations with Chinese librarians and to foster stronger ties between our communities. On a personal note, I'd like to share that this is the first time I've attended a WAL Forum on site and my first visit to China. I'm looking forward to meeting everyone, to interacting with Chinese colleagues at the forum and to experiencing the rich diversity of Chinese culture. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I am Wu Jianzong from the University of Macau Library. The University of Macau is the only comprehensive university in the world with the Portuguese, English and Chinese as the official languages. My library is responsible for the Portuguese Resource Alliance, which is composed of 42 university libraries in the Portuguese-speaking countries and China that provide Portuguese teaching. I have participated in the WAL conference before and learned a lot from our international colleagues. I wish the 5th Forum a great success. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Al-Walid Al-Khaja from Qatar National Library, where open access is one of the core values of the library, and we support researchers in Qatar to maximize impact of their research. I am looking forward to attending the 5th Forum on the Future of World Academic Libraries, and I'm sure it will be a very successful event. I look forward to discussions with colleagues from around the world. I'm also looking forward to meaningful exchanges and collaborations with other libraries in the WAL Connect and the WAL Morning Talk. This is my first visit to China and I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to interacting with Chinese colleagues at the forum and experiencing the rich diversity of Chinese culture.
大家好，我是山东大学图书馆的程川生，很高兴有机会参加本次WAL论坛，非常期待能够与国内外同仁们一起凝心聚力，擘画图书馆事业高质量发展的宏伟蓝图，共同开启数字赋能、开放互联的前进新征程。
Hello everyone, I'm Alexander Siniakis from the Hellenic Academic Libraries Link, a consortia of university libraries based in Greece. I'd like to welcome you to the 5th Forum of the Future of World Academic Libraries that will be held live in Beijing. I'm excited to meet colleagues from around the world and from the Chinese academic libraries, establish connections and strengthen the collaboration between our institutions.
Greetings everyone, I'm Han Zhaoying, the Chief Librarian of the Nankai University Library. Nankai University Library is a modern academic establishment serving as a center for literary resources, higher education learning, services for students and faculty members, as well as a space for cultural exhibitions and exchanges. I'm anticipating the 5th Forum on the Future of World Academic Libraries. It's an honor to participate. I look forward to engaging in fruitful discussions, meaningful exchanges, and collaborations with librarians worldwide. I wish for its success.
大家好，我是北京师范大学图书馆馆长王琼，很高兴能在此次WAL会议上，与大家分享我馆的这些实践的经验。北京师范大学呢是教育部直属的重点大学，学校的前身是1902年创立的京师大学堂师范馆，是一所以教师教育、教育科学和文理基础学科为主要特色的著名学府。图书馆经过了120余年的积累，馆藏古籍、清末民国书刊、教育心理类等文理基础学科文献呢，作为我们的馆藏特色。第5届世界学术图书馆未来论坛开幕在即，愿论坛为图书馆转型发展注入新的活力。期待各国的图书馆同仁他们的精彩分享，通过论坛深度交流，共同进步，为图书馆事业的发展献计献策。
Hello everyone, I'm Consuela Askew from Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey in the U.S. The Rutgers University Libraries is comprised of 11 library facilities spread across 3 geographical areas in the state of New Jersey. I'm looking forward to attending the 5th Forum on the Future of World Academic Libraries. I'm so excited to be a part of this prestigious event. I'm aware that China's academic library sector is thriving, and I can't wait to share and exchange perspectives with my Chinese colleagues and to establish connections with all of you. This is a rare opportunity for Rutgers University Libraries, and I look forward to engaging in enriching discussions and identifying potential areas for partnerships with Chinese academic libraries in an effort to foster stronger ties between our two communities. This will be my first visit to China as well, and I'm looking forward to interacting with my international colleagues at the forum, visiting local university libraries, and experiencing the rich diversity of Chinese culture. I've attended and participated in previous WAL conferences and have learned so much about the unique characteristics and progress of libraries from my colleagues across the globe. This is the first time, however, that I am attending a WAL forum on site, and so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to have face-to-face discussions and exchanges with my fellow attendees. So, see you soon.
Hi everyone, I am Valda, the digital librarian, and I am excited to welcome you to the world of the future academic library. Now, please join me in giving a warm welcome to our chair, Mr. Jing Jianbin, University Librarian of Tsinghua University.
Thanks, Walda. Nice to meet you again. Yes, just now our Robert Walda just greeted us all. AI makes the technology and the human so close now, enabling us to foresee the future of library, just like Walda, young, energetic, and most importantly, with eternity. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests from near and afar, good morning. I'm Jing Jianbin from Tsinghua University Library, and it is my great honor to welcome you to the 2024 Forum on the Future of the World Academic Libraries, and to chair this opening session. On behalf of the four hosts, the Tsinghua University Library, the University of the Hong Kong Libraries, International Association of University Libraries, or IATUL, and the CNKI, I would like to extend our warmest welcome to all our distinguished representatives, both those present in this room and those joining us via live videos from various parts of the world. This year marks the 5th Forum for World Academic Libraries, or WAL. We are delighted to have over 700 guests from more than 17 countries and regions together today. In the following 2 days, we will engage in stimulating discussions about the future of academic libraries, exploring the challenges and opportunities presented by the era of AI, digital intelligence, openness, and connectivities. The conference programs we have prepared is truly exceptional, and I'm confident that whether you are here with us in Beijing or participating remotely, you will find it to be an enriching and inspiring experience. Before we commence with the main conference proceedings and the plenary sessions, it is my privilege to introduce the esteemed guests from those hosts and the supporting organization. Please join me in welcome Mrs. Wang Hua. Mr. Wang Hua is a senior inspector, the Import and Export Administration Bureau, Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committees. Welcome, Wang Hua. Mr. Song Yi. Mr. Song is the Senior Inspector of Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education. Welcome, Mr. Song. Professor Sabas Kohan. Professor Kohan is the Director and the Representative to UNESCO Regional Office for East Asia. Welcome. Mrs. Flora Wu Lijuan. Mr. Wu is the Chief Information Officer and the University Librarian, the University of Hong Kong Librarian. Anna Warwick. Anna is currently the President of International Association of University Librarians. Welcome. Mrs. Wang Luhua. Mr. Wang Luhua is the Deputy University Library of Wuhan University. Mr. Liu Changxin. Mr. Liu Changxin is the President and Chairman of the CNKI. Welcome and thank all of you. Now I'm going to move to the session of opening speech. The planning and the organization of the WAL 2024 cannot be held successfully without the guide and the support from the Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committee. So now let's invite Mrs. Wang Hua, Senior Inspector, the Important Export Administration Bureau, Publicity Department of the CPC Central Committee, to give us a welcome speech. Please, Ms. Wang.
尊敬的夏泽汉总代表，尊敬的安娜·沃里克女士，尊敬的刘长新董事长，尊敬的宋毅司长，各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们，大家上午好。
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished Cam, I'm very happy to attend the 2024 Forum on Future of the World Academic Libraries. On behalf of the Import and Export Administration Bureau, Publicity Department of CPC Central Committee, I'd like to extend the congratulations to the convening of this forum. I'd like to extend the gratitude to the distinguished friends and the experts for their always support and care. The theme of this forum is the future library with the digital intelligence, openness, and connectivity. And we know that the digitalization is changing the shapes and the structure of the libraries, especially in the future. Libraries can connect the digital as well as the context, the content, by the technologies of the current times to transform them into something that could be utilized at the current times and also open to the future use in a detailed and also customized manner to the users to enrich the interest as well as the experience of the learning and experiences for the research. So the future library with the digital intelligence means that the libraries is not only an enclosed space, but instead it is a very interactive and open platform through the open and access of the information and data. The libraries in the future will become the bridge of the researchers and the learners And also, it will be convenient for the transformation and the connectivities and transfer of the knowledge and data. So with the background of the openness in the environment of the libraries, the AI technologies will not be neglected easily, because the open libraries in the future shall be open through the access of the data, through the open cooperation and open collaboration. We can accelerate the innovations of the knowledge and transformation of the findings of the research into reality. At the same time, we also have to think about how AI can be utilized to support the daily life of the people and to assist the utilization of the technologies in the real time. It shall be fair, transparent, and also ethically right. So our department is always dedicated on the promotion of the spread of the knowledge and the cultures of China to the world, and to speed the interactions and mutual learning within each other. And we are highly value the roles played by the libraries on promoting the spread of the cultures and the spread of the knowledge, to demonstrate the archives and collections of China's literatures, to support the spread of China's literature sources and mutual learning, to expand the channels of cooperation, to intensify the common sense and consensus to be reached, and introduce Chinese civilizations as well as the societal progress of China to the world, to make it convenient for the world to understand China's cultures and background. Ladies and gentlemen and dear friends, this forum has set up a very good and spacious cooperation platform for the experts and scholars around the world. And we hope that you can make use of this platform and enrich the content of the discussion and contribute to the development of the future libraries with your due efforts. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Wang, for your warm welcome, and also I think thank you for your enduring support in the export of the academic resources over the years. So next, let's welcome Professor Shahbaz Khan, the Director and the Representative to UNESCO Regional Office for East Asia, to deliver a greeting speech. Welcome.
Okay, a very good morning to all of you. Dear colleagues, distinguished guests, dear friends, on behalf of UNESCO, it's my great honor and privilege to join you on this very important forum on the future of world academic libraries. Very important event in Beijing, very important for UNESCO. I will give a few ideas from how it links with the global initiatives. Certainly, the power of digital intelligence, openness, and connectivity are already shaping our future in many ways, and especially for the academic libraries and for knowledge innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't need to overemphasize the importance of artificial intelligence in this digital era. The challenges and opportunities we face today are certainly far beyond imagination as it is now. We need to employ a forward-thinking approach. And that's certainly aligned with the UNESCO's mission, which is to have the knowledge as a common good and to ensure technological advancements serve the greater good of humanity. You may know about UNESCO's open science and open access initiatives. We are promoting openness, transparency, and inclusivity through scientific research which is accessible to all, data which is available and is properly vetted, publications and educational resources which are freely available. That certainly is all important for scientific discovery and to democratize the knowledge, making it a powerful tool for addressing global challenges and especially for the Sustainable Development Goals. Ladies and gentlemen, all of us are part of this knowledge system, and libraries certainly are a very important part of this ecosystem. We need to continue to create as well as disseminate information. And that's where open science, open access, all of them are very important initiatives for collaboration and innovation. The role of libraries for open access repositories, and to promote collaborative research is more important than ever before. And that's where it links very strongly with Chinese government's shared prosperity and people-to-people exchanges, and certainly South-South cooperation, North-South and triangular cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of the artificial intelligence revolution. We need to make sure that these technologies are developed and deployed ethically. That's where I would like to draw your attention to UNESCO's recommendations on the ethics of artificial intelligence, to which China is a very important partner. And certainly member states of UNESCO, and many are represented here as I understand, are part of this initiative on ethics of AI, which is emphasizing human rights, fairness, transparency, accountability, and sustainability. Libraries and academic institutions are very important to bring the ethical principles of artificial intelligence and to make sure that privacy of data, to make sure the diversity of all views, and to make sure protection of the vulnerable groups. And that's where the use of search algorithms like ChatGPT, as we know, and we want to make sure the world is properly taking on board all the experiences without bias and certainly without the fake knowledge. And that's where ethical implications are very, very important. So we have to continue to transform our institutions where knowledge is not only preserved, but is actively generated and shared. And that's where the integration of knowledge with the academia beyond academic circles into sustainable development, that is being pursued. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very important to build capacity and to also make sure that we get over the digital divide. So your conference is very important. And the role of the librarians to equip them and the link with the academics and researchers, that needs a new approach. And that's where UNESCO is promoting a very important methodology. It's called Readiness Assessment Methodology for AI. My office is implementing it in East Asia, but we are certainly working across 195 member states of UNESCO. So principles of open science and ethical AI, how we bring the right kind of policy to implementation and foster international cooperation are the key areas, and I strongly recommend to you that you discuss them in your conference as well. And that's where the knowledge innovation as well as looking into how this knowledge is being turned into wisdom is very critical. Let me give you a very brief thought from a science fiction writer. I'm a scientist too, if you know my background. This science fiction writer, Isaac Asimov, once observed that the saddest aspect of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. So we have a lot more knowledge but very little wisdom. That's where we need to bring the role of the libraries and science and technologies as well as ethics of AI. Also, Chinese have been at the forefront of philosophical thinking, as you know from Confucius. With virtue and talent in harmonious balance, let knowledge and action be as one. So wisdom underscores the need to guide our innovations with moral integrity, ensuring the knowledge is being pursued into ethical and meaningful directions. Ladies and gentlemen, I really congratulate you again for this wonderful conference, and I strongly hope and believe that the role of the libraries and librarians in bringing what is best about humanity, science, technology, education, the multicultural aspects of knowledge, and the key areas of the global development, the key areas related to the ethical aspects of multiculturalism and bringing all what is important for humanity. And that's where knowledge has to bring all together. And very importantly, in the United Nations system, as you know, with the Sustainable Development Goals, we say, leaving no one behind. And certainly with the open access, open repositories, libraries are the places where perhaps bringing knowledge together with the knowledge platforms like what CNKI have been doing, we can bring that revolution of leaving no one behind through the digital technologies. We are already working on some collaborative projects linking Africa, for example, with China, as well as many countries in Asia. So I strongly believe that this meeting will be another step towards bringing knowledge where it is necessary. I thank you all and thank you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kohan. Professor Kohan not just bring us congratulations of UNESCO to this forum, but also, I think, highlights his or their concerns and expectations about the issues and the challenges brought by the artificial intelligence, open science, and other kind of the technologies. Thank you, Professor Kohan. Now I'm going to invite to the stage Anna Warwick, the president of the International Association of University Library, on behalf of the WAL hosts, to give us a greeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear participants and organizers. It is my great pleasure and honor to be here with you today at the next forum on the future of world academic libraries. IATUL has been a part of this initiative for several years, and we are very happy that we can contribute to the success of this event. This time we have the great pleasure to meet in person. I hope it will be an opportunity to build lasting and fruitful relationships, establish cooperation and exchange experiences and knowledge with colleagues from all around the world. Thank you to the organizers of this conference, the Scientific Committee, and the CNKI team for gathering us here and making this event possible. IATUL's mission is to be a platform for cooperation and exchange of experiences between active, innovative, and committed libraries and librarians from all over the world. Our special interest groups create initiatives to develop library services. A new special interest group that will launch soon will also support leadership and development of the library profession. To those who are members of IATUL, I would like to thank you for your contribution and activity. And those who are just not yet members, I encourage you to join our community. The libraries of the future are the same libraries that are here and now and respond to the needs of the changing world and the changing needs of the academic community. You are the present and the future of libraries. And it is thanks to you that academic libraries will remain a key provider of credible, reliable, and valuable knowledge to the academic community. I wish you successful, fruitful discussions and the best possible impressions from the extremely interesting and exciting days ahead of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Anna's talk is on behalf of the all four institutions who co-organize this forum. She not just highlights the importance or the significance of the issues raised by this forum, but also invite all of you to join the enduring discussion during the within this forum and beyond. Thank you, Anna. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, we have a very packed and diverse program for you. So without further delay, I'm now pleased to hand over the chair to Mr. Flora, the University of Hong Kong librarian, to host the upcoming sessions. Flora, please.
Wow, good morning, everyone. It's great to see a beautiful crowd of over 800 knowledge and wisdom seekers. And you guys are from over 17 countries. That's an incredible record. So I want to first congratulate CNKI for hosting such a successful event. And I want to congratulate all the co-hosting institutions and the supporter for this event. This year, Hong Kong U Library celebrates 111 years, and we certainly have experienced many changes over the years. The topic today of the future library with digital intelligence, openness, and connectivity is so critical for the success at this juncture of transformation. The previous speaker has talked about openness, has talked about AI, and these are such critical topics that we're going to explore in the next 2 days. Now, I will move quickly to the keynote speech for this section. The first one, the topic of our keynote speech is development trends of libraries in the future. And we have 3 great speakers here today, and 2 will be online, 1 physically here. So let me introduce the first one, is Mr. Song Yi, the Senior Inspector, Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education. And his topic is accelerating the building of future learning center and exploring the creation of a new paradigm for learning in the digital age. So let's put our hands together and welcome Mr. Song Yi to the stage, please.
Thank you for inviting me to be here. Distinguished Ms. Wang Hua, dear Ms. Professor Han, Anna, Director Liu, Chairman Liu, ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Today, I'm very happy to attend this 2024 Forum on Future of WAL. We've haven't been together for this kind of forums face-to-face for a long time. And so the Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, like to extend the congratulations to the convening of this forum and welcome to all of you for your coming. And the topic or the theme of this forum is the future liability with the digital intelligence, openness, and connectivity. The selection of this theme is very timely and very correct. And I believe that on this forum, all the experts and scholars around the different corners of life and also from the different distance come together to discuss on how AI empower the libraries to provide better services to the readers, and how can we develop the future learning center and the intelligent space and open science and so on and so forth. So we'd like to value the opportunity of this forum, and as we know that we have more than 100 participants online and offline attending this forum means that this is a really vigorous conference, gathering so many people here. We believe that we have to accelerate the development of the libraries or the future libraries, and I believe we have to accelerate the transformation of the libraries. And the future development of libraries must conform to the trajectories of training and cultivating the talents, which can be tailored to the needs of the future. Especially, we have to accelerate the development of the Future Learning Center. So with that, I'd like to discuss with all of you on several issues. As we probably know and know very well that something is coming to us very, very aggressively, featuring AI-empowered technologies and unleash of the potential of these AI technologies, which brings to the huge changes to our life, to the education. In cope with these challenges, we have to change the paradigms and mentality of higher education. And the paradigms of higher education has become the common sense right now. Now, this is something from the third higher education conference in Spain, with the theme of reshaping the higher education, innovative talents training paradigms for the future higher education. So we have to make innovations on the future paradigms and the trajectories of higher education. On the conference, it has been proposed that we must make changes of 6 directions. First of all, we must provide better learning experience to the students. Especially, we have to focus on the future development of learning for the students as the center instead of putting the teachers at the center. And then we have to be very flexible in developing the comprehensive learning system and providing the higher education to the needs of different people. So facing into the future, we have to think about how to reset the targets of talent cultivation, and we have to also reach consensus of international arena. We must be preemptive in predicting, responding to, and activating the changes, to keep open mind, to embrace the new technologies. And also we have to think about how to adapt to the future needs, to rethink about how to provide and cultivate talents in the future when it comes to the higher education reshaping. Faced with the changes of the times, the talents, what kind of capabilities for learning to cope with the new change. We have to think about how to make change of the concept of education and the ways of education provision and the paradigms and the patterns of learning and teaching, evaluation, and so on and so forth. So to the academic libraries, they must be very proactively adapt to this eco-environment, participate into the talent cultivation in an in-depth manner. And now we are in the 3rd year of the strategic action on digitalization of education. So our department is also initiating the Future Learning Center initiative. And faced with the new changes and the new requirements of the future learning, we have to explore new paradigms and ways. As early as in December of 2021, the Ministry of Education Department Higher Education already proposed to rely on the pilot's development of the academic libraries in the universities to set up a bunch of future learning centers. And in the future, more and more universities will join this team to think about how to develop the future learning center, with which we also have conducted different rounds of discussions and researches. And last year, the Department of Higher Education, Ministry of Education, already putting and accelerating the future learning center pilots into the future plan of this department. So I think we believe in order to realize the advancement of the concept with enriched resources and a new round of technologies as an empowerment source. And these are the 4 targets for the future learning center that we're going to build. And the core lies in how to enhance the capabilities of the talents. And we also have to know how to integrate the spaces comprised of information service, support of the learning, and support of the teaching to explore the new type of organization of learning based on Intelligent Plus, to build the space in which the students can be proactive in learning and collaborative in learning and research in learning and so on and so forth, means that intelligence enabling study, teaching, management, and researches can be realized. Future Learning Center as a comprehensive complex with the virtual and physical learning and teaching together, we must seize 4 principles. First of all, we have to intensify the collaboration. The Future Learning Center must be featuring the cracking down the barriers of the mechanisms and bureaucracies for the flowing of the elements of education, systematically mobilize the resources from the departments or libraries and the different administration bureaus and information centers. At the same time, second, we have to classify the management. The Future Learning Center would not be unified. It needs to be diverse with the different features. And the universities and higher education institutions at the different localities can make up their support based on their learning features to develop their own future learning centers in a pilot manner. The third one is that we have to enhance the digital intelligence empowerment, make use of the new generation information technologies, i.e. the big data and artificial intelligence to realize the interactions among the people, physical space, and information resources to intensify the precise learning services provision and the online-offline communities of learning development to realize the empowerment of the digitalization to the innovation development of the learning and teaching. The fourth one, also have to innovate the management patterns. We have to focus on the process of learning by the students, to focus on how the teachers, the partners, and other partners of learning and environment interact with each other to provide the service, which is the tailored development services to the students when they're learning through the innovative patterns of learning and interaction patterns between the teachers and students, systematically provide new paradigms and transformation of learning paradigms, and to cultivate the talents, learning ability in all-round manner faced into the future. So I believe the construction and development of the Future Learning Center must know not how to provide whatever learning content to the students in need, to transform the traditional learning way into the future way of learning. First of all, we have to set high standards to create ubiquitous intelligence learning environments. The universities and colleges must combine the features of their positions and their features to develop their own digitalization environment, which is powered by the intelligent technologies on one hand. The optimization of the space of the libraries can provide a better, convenient, and personalized environment offline for the students. On the other hand, we have to speed up the development of the connections and sharing of the resources, connections of people and robots, connections of the different spaces, and to create the humanized green digital archive and collection environment and a space for the digital architecture, so that the groups-based and collaboration-based and theme-based learning can be realized, and the students can enjoy a better learning experience. Second, we have to build a high-level, intelligent, and convenient learning platform. We must encourage the universities and colleges to integrate and consolidate the resources of learning and teaching, make good use of the resources based on the higher education, intelligent education platform to build the personalized learning platforms based on digital environment. At the same time, we also have to create the communities, both online and offline in combination, being equipped with the navigation equipments of the intelligent learning and the tools for the resources recommendations to precisely satisfy the need of the teachers and the students in terms of personalization and space. Third, we have to efficiently provide future-oriented learning services, relying on the space of digitalization, big data, to help the students to learn in an intelligent way. On one hand, through learning the data and the trajectory learning to realize profiling of the students, each one of the students would be known with this precise analysis With that, we can provide the better positive feedbacks of learning and recommendations of the learning pathways and assist these teachers and students to realize the self and proactive learning in an all-round manner. And on the other hand, the interaction space also have to be built up for the training, for the digital literacy development, and to also supervise the research and entrepreneurship for the students. The fourth one, we have to create the intelligent and integrated innovative learning ecology in all aspects, encourage the universities to break down the barriers of the boundaries of the different disciplines and faculties and departments to train the grassroots manner organization of the learning to guide the learning process being more digitalized, innovative, and explorative to assist the future paradigm of learning featuring the center as the students and guided by the research and in part by the interest so that the teachers and students can create the future based on their needs. For example, the teams of the academic research and from different disciplines and also the learning service mechanisms with these innovative exploration practices can be facilitated altogether, and also the multimedia interconnectivity patterns can be developed for guiding the mobilization of the resources from different disciplines, and online-offline combination can be assisted and capitalized on for the community of the learning to be helped. So, distinguished guests, with the transformation of the digitalization education, the way of learning by the students has to be changed. And the academic libraries also need to be reshaped towards innovation. To build the future learning center, need to support the explorative learning and cross-discipline learning, theme learning, and non-traditional and official learning. And based on these new technologies, we must make innovations, explorations on the way of learning. We hope that with the concerted efforts of the global libraries, the development of the future learning centers, research and development, can summarize the experiences from before to formulate a new paradigms to adapt to the future learning, to accelerate the transformation, the upgrades intelligently, and the green development of the global education to build the better future for humankind. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Song, for the inspiring speech. Next, we're going to move to an online presentation by Dr. Vicky McDonald, President of International Federation of Library Association and Institution, IFLA. And the topic of her talk is Continuing the Transformation, Libraries and AI. Now, do I need some technical help to get the online going? 有人帮忙吗? Was it automatic? It's automatic, I think. Okay, Vicky, if you're online, can you? Do I need to do something? Okay, can someone help? Someone needs to help. We certainly have not rehearsed, so that's okay. Give us a minute. We're ahead by a few minutes. 用哪一个？不好意思，不知道。用这个？
Hello. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Vicky. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
please,
I can.
Please turn on your audio and also video, please.
Okay.
Your video,
I
please.
can't. My video is now open. Great.
Okay.
Thank you very
so much.
Thank
And
you
please
very
share your slides, please. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay, we're good. If you put on slideshow, we're on. Great, thank you, Ms. Vicky McDonald.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Flora, and thank you for the invitation to participate in the 2024 Forum on Future of World Academic Libraries. I'm sorry that I'm not able to join you in Beijing, but I certainly do appreciate the opportunity to join you online today, and a terrific example of how technology is really enhancing our connectivity, and we're going to give it a good go today as well. I'd also like to acknowledge the distinguished guests and colleagues who are in the room today as well. The conference theme, The Future of Library with Digital Intelligence, Openness and Connectivity, is so relevant to the work of libraries, and I'd like to congratulate the organising committee on providing a theme that allows speakers to explore and share the work that they are progressing in their respective libraries. Libraries have, of course, been innovating for decades and are exemplary at being early adopters of new technology. They have successfully used technology to improve workflows and processes, to achieve efficiencies, improve service delivery, and so much more. And no doubt many of these achievements will be discussed in today's forum. You will also have the opportunity to explore the latest service models and connect with global experts and scholars in library and information science from all around the world. Connecting with experts from across the globe is one of the advantages of being involved with IFLA, the International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions. It's my privilege to be the current president of IFLA, and IFLA is the global voice of libraries. It has a membership of 1,600 members, and its members are library associations, leading institutions, and players in the library field. And perhaps some of you in the room today are members of IFLA. We are represented from over 140 countries across the globe. I also have the privilege to be the State Librarian and CEO here at the State Library of Queensland, and here's a photograph of our beautiful building. As Queensland's leading public reference and research library, we have a legislated responsibility to collect, document and share Queensland's culture and history, and also to preserve it for future generations. So there are obviously lots of conferences and presentations about AI and libraries at the moment. But I believe that it does raise some interesting questions about who we are and what we do, as well as providing a great case study of why an organisation like IFLA matters. Crucially, it is also a conversation that we'll be having at the IFLA Information Futures Summit later this year, and I'll talk about that at the end of my presentation. Today, I also provide an example of the work that State Library of Queensland has recently completed. It has harnessed the potential of generative AI to make our collection accessible in new and exciting ways. So firstly, let me address the topic of artificial intelligence as an opportunity. Essentially, in the library context, AI is a means of doing more with the information we have. It opens up some really exciting possibilities to make more use of our collections, for everything from advancing research to supporting new forms of creativity. From the perspective of our users, we can hope for faster discovery, new scientific insights, and exciting new ways to create and engage with knowledge. And this brings me to the project that we recently launched at the State Library of Queensland, Virtual Veterans, and you can see the screen there. And this is where I'd like to acknowledge the work of my colleague, Anna Rornick, and Anna is the Executive Director, Content. So nearly a year ago, Anna identified that generative AI would allow us to make our very strong collections related to World War I accessible in new ways, and that it would enable us to make these collections particularly relevant and appealing to students and educators. So I'm introducing you now to Charlie, and Charlie is the flagship of our Virtual Veteran project. It's a chatbot using digitised letters and journals from World War I to enable users to ask a veteran a question, and users are able to ask Charlie questions about World War I. Charlie is not based on a real person, but his responses are generated from a multitude of sources and are not reflective of any single individual or their experience. We were able to progress this project because it builds on 20 years of digitising our collections. We were able to access, and this is the content that sits within this particular project, our digitised collections, so the diaries of soldiers, the letters home, these had already been digitised, so over 1.5 million words. We also had the digitised Queensland newspapers for the period from 1914 to 1918, and these were made available through Trove, which is hosted by the National Library of Australia. And importantly, we also had the official history of Australia in the war for 1914 to 1918, which is a 12-volume series covering Australia's involvement in the First World War. The series was edited by the official historian Charles Bean, and it's a really important resource, and again, it was already digitised. So the combination of all these resources gave us over 4 million words that were available for searching. So this is, I'm now going to really tempt our technology and do a live search of the virtual veteran to show you how it works. So when you go onto the web page, this is what you see. So virtual veterans, your AI guide to a rich collection of World War I resources. It tells you a little bit about the project, some questions, you can submit feedback, and then you go down here and you can see here, this is Charlie, who I just mentioned is the image that we're using. And so he's saying goodbye, and you can actually search on particular topics if you don't know what to search. So you can see there it's searching on casualties, and it will bring up some content here. So it tells you here that over 60,000 Australians died during World War I. And over on the left-hand side here, you can see where it's taking you to some of our original resources. So we have a manuscript and also a newspaper article here, another newspaper article here from the 3rd of February 1917. And if you click on these, it will take you through directly to the resources. You can also ask questions. So down here, one of the most popular questions we have is this one. So were there dogs in the war?
Excuse me, Vicky.
Yes?
The network on the China side and the Beijing side is not seeing your screen. So it just has a circle. So we're not seeing what you're seeing. Maybe we...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. So, but I think perhaps you've got the gist of what I've been talking about, and perhaps members may wish to look at it on our website themselves afterwards. So if you do a Google search called just virtual veterans, it will take you to what I've been searching. So that's unfortunate, but anyway, let me continue with my presentation. I just need to go back to the slides. Can you see my slides now?
Yes.
Again, I've changed the slides. It's okay. So I'm sorry that you weren't able to see the search, but anyway, if you do a search on virtual veterans, you will find our project and be able to search it. So now I'd like to address artificial intelligence as a use case for our values. Of course, there are many concerns and criticisms of artificial intelligence, and this can risk leading to a general suspicion of it, which can mean that we can miss out on the positives that it can bring. Unfortunately, we experienced some very strong suspicions when Virtual Veterans was first released, and we had to work that through. A key role for libraries is around understanding and explaining the potential and limitations of AI. We need to ensure our users know where it can and cannot help. AI is just the latest application of what libraries have always done, helping to explain how information gets to us and how to go about interpreting it. Similarly, we are also well placed, thanks to the principles that we apply in our work, to understand and take decisions about what we can and cannot accept in terms of the applications of AI. For example, to gather and analyse user information or more. We also need to be aware of the work necessary to make use of AI and the risks that some cultures and institutions will be better placed to make the use of AI than others. We have an obligation of solidarity to share ideas and, where possible, to develop common tools so that the whole library field and the communities that we serve can benefit. So in developing the work that we've been progressing using artificial intelligence, we have developed some principles around the use of generative AI, and I'd like to share those with you today. The set of principles have been adopted to provide key considerations for the use of generative AI products and services here at the State Library of Queensland. The use of generative AI is governed by the same responsibilities, obligations, and policies for the use of other digital products and services. State Library's approach to the use of generative AI is centred on leveraging this new technology to pursue sustainable, resilient, innovative systems and create new opportunities to engage with collection content while ensuring safe and robust processes applied. So as I mentioned, I'm going to share with you now the 6 principles that we've developed. And the first one is accountability, that our staff must be able to explain, justify, and take ownership of any advice or decisions where generative AI tools were used to assist a process. This means that staff can consider using generative AI tools to brainstorm ideas, generate code, or draft content. The output should be considered with critical evaluation. Staff should also critically analyse outputs of generative AI and take responsibility for understanding the strengths, weaknesses, and risks of the tools. Our second principle is around transparency and explainability. Staff must appropriately identify where generative AI was used in their work. Generative AI products developed for public use should identify how and why generative AI has been deployed. In the case of Virtual Veterans, a project that I was just talking about, we were very explicit about it being a chatbot. We've developed FAQ, or frequently asked questions, explaining the development and also the shortcomings in response to the active response of the principles. Our third principle is around privacy protection and security. We must comply with information privacy principles in relation to the legislation here in Australia, and we will not share client or staff personal information to generative AI products or services. Only collection data that has already been public will be shared with the generative AI tools. And the fourth principle is around fairness and human-centred values. We must acknowledge that generative AI tools are typically trained on broad sets of data that do contain bias due to the systemic, statistical, and human context in which they've been developed. The digitised collections from memory institutions make up only a small proportion of the content available for machine learning. State Library recognises that our collections have been developed over 120 years, contain some information about particular historic and social contexts which may be inconsistent, unrepresentative, and even harmful. And this must be acknowledged when we're presenting and delivering any AI-generated collection services, and that will be challenged through our contemporary collection practices. Our fifth principle is around contestability. Efficient and easy mechanisms for users to respond to, question, or correct the generative AI data should be implemented. So this is a really important consideration. And then our sixth and final principle is human, societal, and environmental well-being, that the use of generative AI tools will respect right holders, as well as carefully considering First Nations data sovereignty and governance. So those particular principles will be a public document and available on our website. So now let's look at artificial intelligence as an opportunity for libraries to show why we matter. Given libraries' long experience of applying ethical principles to questions around information, of which AI is really only the latest one, discussions on the topic arguably open up an important role for us. A key one is around the need for training. This is partly because it simply builds on what libraries are already doing in developing digital skills and information literacy. AI is just the most recent development that is shaping how information gets to us, provoking questions around what may have influenced it, and we are well placed to lead this conversation. Linked to this is libraries' place within communities, both local and academic. People come to us because they trust our skills and know that we can help. We can be leaders in helping people identify which forms of AI can help them, as well as the downsides. And I see this as a real opportunity for libraries. Of course, in both cases, we need appropriate support, both equipment and the staffing and skills to be ready and confident in help. Nonetheless, the cost is far less than developing a new infrastructure to carry out these very vital tasks. Finally, I'd argue that the prospective librarians, given their professional ethics and values and knowledge of the needs of users, should also be heard in policy discussions. We need to be ready to step forward to share our values, our knowledge, our skills, and also our experience. So I now turn to the role of IFLA in this particular theme. I know that my IFLA Governing Board colleague, Dr. Dilara Begum, will be talking more about this later today, and hope that everyone will find her presentation useful as she goes into more depth. But it's a good example of how IFLA adds value to the field. We provide a space and structure for a vibrant global professional field. One of our most dynamic units is our Artificial Intelligence Special Interest Group. But as you might have seen at the 2023 Congress, which was held in August in Rotterdam, there were lots and lots of discussions about artificial intelligence. Many sections explored different aspects of artificial intelligence in their sessions. In fact, one of the sessions that the Artificial Intelligence Special Interest Group conducted was they partnered with government libraries, library and research services for parliaments, the Government Information Official Publications section, and the Law Library section to explore the topic of artificial intelligence, partner or rival, implications for government information and the law. So you can see just from that one session the broad interest of working together to resolve and explore this particular issue. The diversity of perspectives in our library fields is a real strength too, something that a cross-cutting organisation like IFLA is uniquely placed to provide. And I would like to remind you that later this year we will be seeking nominations for our sections. We have an elections coming up, and I do encourage you to consider nominating for a role in one of our committees. Secondly, IFLA advocates for libraries. We are working on our Internet Manifesto, which will highlight the need for people-centred approach to AI regulation. IFLA will also argue for a proportionate approach, and in particular, one that enables quality AI rather than restricting it, given its potential to support wider goals. And finally, IFLA will make the case for libraries to be seen as key parts of the infrastructure for developing AI and public interest. AI is so integrated in those plans. And finally, IFLA works to build the skills to work with AI. Our Artificial Intelligence Special Interest Group has led the way in developing key reports and materials that support learning and reflection. But of course, all through building library associations around the world, we also put in place the structures that allow library and information workers to learn continuously. AI is, of course, a key theme for the IFLA Information Futures Summit, which I will be hosting here in Brisbane in September, the 30th of September to the 3rd of October. And in fact, it's the focus of our opening keynote by Marek Kalkovich. And Marek's keynote is titled AI and the Rise of the Digital Minions. IFLA will release the 2024 Trend Report at the summit here in Brisbane. It is the first major new edition in over 10 years, and it's an opportunity to create a resource and tools to help libraries around the world to build preparedness and resilience in a fast-moving environment. It will identify a range of key trends related to information and knowledge, how they shape and are shaped by the wider issues. And we'll be sharing information about this trend report on the IFLA website in the coming weeks. We will then start to look at the different trends to complement or conflict with each other. Through this, We will develop scenarios which we hope will make the trend report easily applicable at all levels across the field and across the globe. So do keep an eye out for this particular report when it's released as well in the coming weeks. As I mentioned, we're hosting the IFLA Information Futures Summit here in Brisbane, the 30th of September to the 3rd of October. And here is an image of our city, and it also shows you one of the buildings where the summit will be held. I strongly encourage you to consider attending the summit, and I'm sure that Dilara will also mention it in her presentation today. We have a fantastic range of national and international speakers exploring the theme of information futures. In closing, I wish you a very good conference, and I look forward to hearing from Dilara about the discussions and outcomes that you have in Beijing. As I mentioned at the start, I'm sorry I can't join you. Perhaps another time I can visit you again. But thank you for the opportunity to talk to you today about the work of IFLA and also the work that the State Library of Queensland is progressing here in Brisbane. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vicky McDonald, for the inspiring talk. And I hope a lot of you will go to Brisbane to see her then. Now, next is another online presentation. Yeah, another online presentation by Dr. Consuela Escu, and she's the excuse me, the Vice President for University Libraries and University Librarian, Rutgers University. And her topic is Building Capacity for the Future Needs of Academic Libraries, One Public Research Libraries Experience. So you're on, Dr. Consuela.
Thank you very much for that introduction. I am going to pull up my screen. And please let me know if you are seeing the actual slide presentation.
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect. So, good morning, everyone. I am very delighted to speak with you this morning, yet disappointed that I'm not going to be able to be there in person due to an unexpected situation that arose on my end at the last minute. However, I am very grateful that the Planning Committee for the Forum on the Future of World Academic Libraries and the IT team for making it possible for me to participate virtually in this prestigious conference today. So I've had the pleasure over the last several years to talk about the work that we've been doing in Rutgers Libraries that has aligned with the forum topics, and this year is no different. I will share yet another aspect of our transformational journey with you. Today, I'm going to talk about the basics though, and that is our approach to building capacity for the future needs of our libraries and our university community. So my agenda for this presentation is as follows: to share with you just an overview of our libraries and the community we serve, to talk about the external and internal drivers that have put us on our path to building capacity, to provide an overview of our organizational transformation, and which led to our development of a plan of approach for building capacity, and then wrapping up with what I expect will be our outcomes at the end of this journey. So Rutgers University Libraries, who are we and who do we serve? University policy defines our libraries as a library system. We are one libraries, composed of 11 facilities that span across 3 geographic locations throughout the state of New Jersey. We are considered an academic unit. Our librarians hold academic appointments as faculty, affording them the same, if not similar, benefits as disciplinary faculty across the university. We number approximately 200 faculty and staff employees in the libraries, and throughout the year, we employ over 300 student workers across the system. Our expenditures are approximately $50 million a year, of which collections are our second largest expense, and accounts for about 32% of our yearly costs. We report to the university's Executive Vice President of Academic Affairs, EVPAA for short, who in turn reports directly to the university president. So we are well positioned directly in the president's line of sight. We are extremely fortunate that our EVPAA is a staunch supporter of the libraries, and our president, who is a historian, has a deep appreciation for academic libraries and their contributions to the scholarly ecosystem. Who do we serve? We serve a student population of over 67,000 undergraduates and graduates. Our student body is representative of all 50 states across the US and more than 120 countries. Further, we serve over 8,000 full-time and part-time faculty, over 14,000 full-time and part-time staff, and more than 1,500 international scholars from nearly 100 countries. Rutgers University has 29 schools and colleges that collectively offer over 150 undergraduate majors and more than 400 graduate programs. And for more information about our libraries, you can visit our website using the URL provided below. So moving into the drivers. The drivers for our capacity building include internal factors rather, such as those listed on the slide. And this is by no means a comprehensive list of our drivers, but I'm just going to focus on the items that present the biggest pain points or demand for our immediate attention. And on the external side, it's technologies. Education and data technologies such as AI, data analytics, and virtual reality are areas in which we aspire to grow. Right now, we are building capacity in terms of having library faculty and staff expertise to help us deliver services in these realms. Responding to the needs of our researcher community to help them navigate through the research ecosystem. As a research institution with a new senior vice president for the Office of Research, who has come in and improved the processes, protocols, and services delivered by that office, has also increased the visibility of the university's research output, which has led to more demands on the libraries to provide even more researcher support services. And we are striving to catch up. And lastly, the publishing industry, more specifically as it pertains to the licensing and delivery of open access content. Rutgers University has a university policy that requires all of our publishing faculty to submit a pre-publication manuscript into our open access repository. We have not done a good job in keeping up with our commitment to that policy, but it is, again, an area of growth that requires more support than we currently have in order to more fully and robustly steward that policy. Internal factors, I just mentioned about our reduction in workforce or the need to increase our workforce. Also funding, which is an evergreen challenge I'm sure that many of us are facing. And as a public institution in the United States, we continue to have to do more with less. We are receiving less state allocations, and when that comes through to our university and trickles down to the libraries, by the time it gets to us, our allocations are extremely small. So we need more funding to support the resources needed, not only to staff our operations and effectively run our services, but also to acquire the collection materials and to provide the infrastructure support that needs to happen in order for us to fully be able to, and more robustly, support our university community. So these drivers were taken into consideration as we assess our organizational structure. with an eye towards addressing the gaps in our delivery of subject and functional expertise needed to deliver quality services to our community. This next slide provides a visual of the building blocks that not only contribute to our process to transform our organization, but will also lead to bolstering our capacity to deliver services where we may have gaps in staffing or a structure that either demotes or promotes inequitable service delivery. The first block is shaping our organizational structure. And the goal of this process is to make sure that the services and functional areas in our organizational structure are aligned with the university needs and priorities. As a result of this process, we've been able to identify new services to incorporate into our structure, realize opportunities to merge or change existing services, and we've also identified services that can be discontinued. We are now coming to the end of this process and look forward to implementing our new organizational structure in the near future. We also recognize with this process that we don't have the capacity to respond to the growing interest and needs of our faculty regarding the use of AI as a tool for research and teaching. And for example, disciplinary faculty who have made requests about using AI as a tool have also expressed interest in learning how to conduct systematic reviews, both of which activities we have very limited capacity to meet the growing interest across the university. And so it was these types of requests and interests that inspired my goal for us to develop or become a learning organization, which I am defining here as an organization that facilitates the learning of its members and continuously transforms itself. So in pursuit of achieving this goal, we're building a learning curriculum that will be tailored to the specific needs of our community. As a learning organization, I feel the libraries will be well positioned to respond to the changing needs of our organization. The development of capacity will be a natural consequence of the first two elements as we fully realize the goal of becoming a learning organization. And my leadership team and I are committed to the ongoing professional development or enrichment of ourselves and our colleagues as a primary strategy for capacity building in our libraries, which will be supplemented by hiring new employees with identified skills and expertise needed as we go along. So getting into the weeds a bit, our approach to capacity building is threefold. First and foremost, it's data informed. Secondly, it consists of continued identification of and/or provision of enrichment activities. And thirdly, we'll be leveraging university and external partnerships to achieve the delivery of these enrichment activities. I'll talk a little bit more about each approach in the next few slides. We are using a number of data points to determine our tactics. So we typically have a handle on the skills of our professional librarians as they are hired for a certain subject or functional expertise that they have. However, our libraries has a sizable number of full-time staff who carry out specific roles in our organization, and the recognition of their skill sets is associated and limited to their assigned job. I felt we were missing an opportunity here. So we used a platform called SkillType to inventory the skill sets of our staff. SkillType is a relatively new tool, and its mission, as stated on its website, is to use data and design to deliver the right skills to the right people and organizations at the right time. This platform is meant to serve as a ramp to accessing professional development training, but it also includes a feature where users can identify their existing skill sets along with those skill sets that they are interested in building. And so we use this platform for this particular feature to enable our staff to self-identify their skills which included those that they may not use on the job, along with identifying the skills that they're interested in developing. And the resulting data is being used to inform our internal professional development curriculum. We also review our reference chat transcripts, our internal IT service tickets for work, as well as requests that we receive for specialized services and other service usage data. Together, these metrics highlight opportunities for developing ongoing training in the use of technology and to enable all of our personnel to keep their skills sharp, no matter what their roles and responsibilities are. We have 2 internal committees, each representing the specific interests of our faculty and our staff employees. The first is a university-mandated faculty legislative body that we call the Faculty Planning Committee, or FPC for short, which serves as advisory to the university librarian. Recently, we developed or constituted a staff advisory committee, a complementary body to this faculty group, which is also advisory to the university librarian. Together, these 2 complementary committees represent the voice for all libraries personnel. And because they receive feedback and suggestions as well as ideas on a variety of topics, including professional development, they in turn become vehicles for additional measures, metrics, and data that we can use to inform our professional development program. So this is a list of enrichment activities. It's not an exhaustive list by any means, as you can see, but it gives you an idea of what we have done, what we are planning to do, and a short-term view of the activities that are still in development. So it reflects what has been currently identified as broad areas of needs to build the skills and knowledge required to move our organization forward. You'll note that the first 4 items on this list focus on leadership and management training, and the second 2 are predicated on areas for which service requests are trending upwards. So I want to talk a little bit about the first item, though. The first item, which says empower you, and is sort of a play on words with the capital R and U for Rutgers University. This program is actually an internal leadership development curriculum that's being developed specifically for Rutgers Libraries personnel, both faculty and staff. In addition to building leadership, the goal of this program is actually to deepen our leadership bench at all levels within our organization, from aspiring leaders to middle managers up to the senior leadership tier. In the past year, we've provided leadership training that focuses on managing change, which is aligned with the transformational processes that we're going through, as well as leading as an introvert and being an inclusive leader. We are in the process of developing internal workshops that will be led by library faculty on topics such as using generative AI tools for research and how to use or employ systematic review methodology in the areas of social sciences and humanities. So recognizing that our internal capacity and our funding will only take us so far in providing these necessary skill building activities, we'll also need to leverage the expertise across the university, extending across the profession and beyond in order to provide this skills-based learning that will span the areas of leadership and functional expertise. And of course, we will focus on the no-cost options first. So these partners might include, again, library staff or faculty with deep expertise in a functional area such as GIS or data visualization or data management. Internal to the university, we've been working with the Rutgers Center for Organizational Leadership, with whom we have partnered on a number of library efforts and initiatives. and they are always willing and helpful and able to work with us to provide training as needed. Also reaching out to library associations that we are members of, such as the Big Ten Academic Alliance and the Association of Research Libraries, as well as state and regional associations and organizations that provide professional development and leadership training. Depending on the nature of the topic and whether we have accessible or available expertise within the libraries or within the university to provide training, I have no problems with hiring independent outside consultants and trainers and to bring them in to provide such training for us. And of course, we will also fold in pertinent training that's provided by the university's HR division. And so by now, after all of this, you're probably wondering who will oversee this work. And to ensure that we are rolling out our enrichment program in a unified manner, we've created a new position in our organization titled the Director for Organizational Learning and Success. It can't get any more intuitive than this. We are keeping the organizational learning or becoming a learning organization first and foremost in front on everyone's radar through this particular position, but also through our work in terms of skill building and knowledge-based training. The responsibilities of this particular position will include identifying workshops and training opportunities for us that will align with the established professional development curriculum and conducting periodic assessments to determine the efficacy of these activities, as well as to identify changes in our professional development needs. In short, this position will have oversight of our journey to becoming a learning organization. So what are our expected outcomes? And shifting our organizational culture from a reactionary culture to one that is proactive is one of the expected outcomes of this work. Growing into a learning organization by providing and encouraging ongoing skills and knowledge development through enrichment opportunities is another. Our new structure will be one that is nimble and one that necessary type and capacity of expertise needed to respond to the university's needs and priorities is important for us. And the last one that I hope will stem from our culture of learning is to become an innovative organization. And I want to share a quote that I found by William Pollard, who was a clergyman and scholar in the late 1800s, and was actually attributed with this quote that I'm about to share. And that quote goes, "Learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think that what you did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow." And this quote really resonates with me as I think about Rutgers Libraries, which exists in a 258-year-old institution, which is steeped in tradition and slow to change. I recognize that our libraries do not have such a luxury. We cannot remain entrenched in the past, continuing practices that are outdated and unnecessarily labor-intensive, or even dwell in the present for too long. In order to be innovative, we must look to the future to keep apace with the evolutionary technologies that are changing the way research is conducted and how work happens in the academy. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Again, I appreciate the invitation to speak with you today. And I am very disappointed that I am not able to be there with you and to be in the audience for the presentations that will follow over the next couple of days. But I thank you so much for your time and attention this morning. If you have any questions or comments regarding my presentation, please reach out to me using the email provided on this slide. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Consuelo Askew. Okay, because we're slightly overrun, I will not summarize, but I think the key messages you probably capture with the new technology, and I hope you learn something about the development trends of the libraries in the future with this section of the keynote. Now with that, I want to pass to the next chair, Ms. Kate Robinson, Secretary, International Association of University Libraries, and also University Librarian, University of Bath. Please.
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of IATUL, I'd like to welcome you to this next session of this stimulating conference. We've already heard this morning from distinguished speakers highlighting the interests of our profession and the skills and the expertise we bring for a successful, globally connected, ethical and open digital future, applying our wisdom to the dissemination of knowledge for the benefit of our users, and as one of the speakers this morning said, leaving no one behind, and embracing both change and challenges by sharing our ideas, by developing tools and developing strategies together. Our topic for this session now is diversified development of future libraries, and we have 4 speakers who are going to help us with this. And I'm sure what they're going to do is they're going to stimulate and spark our discussions as we come together at this forum. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Jinjia Bin, who is going to talk to us about AI-driven innovations in library services, the exploration of Tsinghua University. He is a professor at the School of Journalism and Communications at the university with research direction in media usage and effects, science communication, and communication research methods. He currently serves as the Director of the University Library and Dean of the Academic Committee of the School of Journalism and Communication and a member of Academic and Technology Communication Theory and Committee of the China Science and Technology Journalism Association. So welcome, please, to our first speaker.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here again to share with you some of our experience in Tsinghua University Library about our exploration on the AI-driven innovations in library service. Basically, my talk will be divided into 3 parts. First, I will just briefly talk about put the artificial intelligence in the great context of enabling the changes of the society as a whole, and especially the library industry. And secondly, I will talk about some of our practice to try to integrate AI tools into some of our library service, and then some concluding comments. First, with this, I want to, talking about the function or the influence of technology in the development and the evolution of the library. I think library is always a technology determine the sector. We have different type of category about the development of the library. Different kind of the, saying like library 1, library 2, different generations. But whatever the way we to try to define the different stage of the library, technology is always play a key role in the evolution of the library. What the latest technology we are all talking about or focusing is artificial intelligence. So naturally we will ask, how will AI transform the landscape of the library? Here I will say that AI first, we have already feel it's kind of I use the term sweeping force to shape or to transform the future landscape of the library field or area. But also, I think not just the library, it also will profoundly affect the landscape of the, I use the term content production, basically refer to the publishing industry. So from the digital library to the smart library, as we say, I think the key ingredient in the smart library is that it is based on the AR-powered service. And if we see the development of the library service, when we talk about the traditional library, we will say the service is mainly characterized with the labor or expertise intensive. For the digital library, it's mainly expertise plus capital intensive. But for the smart libraries, we will say it's not just expertise, but more importantly, maybe the computing power intensive service. Yeah. So with this kind of the awareness, I think nowadays, at a different level, we are all attach great importance or significance to the development of AI, especially about its application in the society and in the library. Here, I just show you some of our national level endeavor to try to promote the wide, application of the AI in our different sectors. The government launched some kind of the so-called measures try to promote the deep application of the artificial intelligence service. And here the focus is on to emphasize the quality of the data resource building or construction, as well as to enhance the quality of the not just the data, but also the service to building the information infrastructures. And again, we view the key of the AI, the power of AI is really depends on the quality of the data. And it is with the power of the AI that we can promote or we can transform our different kind of the service. At the university level, Tsinghua University also launched some kind of the project last, just a month ago. Our president in Tsinghua University announced that for the students of the 2024, each fresh student will be assigned or equipped with an AI growth assistant or AI agent. And we also have launched more than 100 pilot courses that is characterized with the AI-powered teaching approach, and some of the procedure or organization of those teaching is highly involved with some AI tools. And also, just weeks ago, Tsinghua established a new school called the School of Artificial Intelligence, led by the Turing Award-winning Professor Yao Qizi, a famous theoretical computer scientist. Yeah. So at the library level, what we have done so far, since last year, we conducted a systematic investigation. The purpose of this investigation is to review the performance of those large language models available currently in China. And this project lasted several months. And the members of these, we call it special task forces, composed of the librarians and staff from the information technology department of our library. And the two primary objectives for this investigation is, one is to evaluate the compatibility and the fit between 7 large models and our library service. And second is to identify the potential possible application scenarios of AR in our daily library service. Involved 7 major domestic language models, and some of the major application scenarios identified through this kind of investigation and interviews, including but not limited to like the reading enhancement, searching enhancement, intelligence question answering, and writing enhancement, etc. So here is a list, some kind of the checklist about our assessment of the performance of the 7 large language model in terms of some dimensions I just mentioned. Yeah, and it's, I think, based on this kind of investigation and assessment, we finally located 2 or 3 of the large language model to embed into our daily library service. I will introduce them in this session. So the second part, I will introduce you how we try to integrate some of the AI tools into our daily library service. First, we can do some preparation. I think to promote some kind of the structuring, transformation in an organization, the preparation of the human resources is very important. So we actually formed kind of the workshop. We call it AI workshop. It is half automation, automated workshop, self-organized. The library will provide some kind of the resources to support them, but basically it's self-organized. The purpose of this workshop is to connect the industry, experts, students, and professors in the library to discussion what kind of the service we need that could be facilitated by the artificial intelligence. And so far we have successfully organized several activities and some brainstorming, talking. Yeah. And also another preparation is to prepare the data resources, as I mentioned, in the development of those AI-powered services. Based on your own high-quality data is very important. So far in Tsinghua University Libraries, we have accumulated large amount of different type of the high-quality data, including more than 1 billion article metadata over the year. And we have integrated all of the academic output data of Tsinghua's faculty or Tsinghua's scholars. And we also, over the year, we have been building a platform called Global Open Access Academic Resources to integrate all of those openly accessible academic resources. And also we have some our own spatial collections. So here you see the platform I just mentioned to accommodate all those openly accessible resources, but we do do some kind of the comparing work, cooperated with our CNKI partnership. And as you can also see, here we embedded AI tools, which is powered by the Huazhi or the CNKI and the Huawei. They developed this kind of the AI tool. So far at this platform, we have already accumulated more than 10 million records, including 4.6 million in Chinese literature and 5.8 million in English. And the data, as I here showed, partly for those, especially for those Chinese literature, mainly from the CNKI. And also we deliberately, systematically to correct those OA literature produced by the world's top 150 universities. So if you like here, just to give you some idea about the the AI tools embedded in this platform. if you find the located article you have been searching, then with these AI tools, you can quickly, to extract the main, content of this article. And also, if you prefer to read it in Chinese, it can also easily to translate it and give you some kind of the, mind map, something like that, yeah, to help you to quickly grasp the main idea of this article. And also, it can help you to not just to summarize the content, but also can, interact with you to provide some suggestion or to, to lead you to some of the, main points of these articles. Yeah. And also here I will show you another two AI tools we embedded in our library service. These two AI tools actually is developed or powered by the Zhipu, another language model. Another has a large language model, has a Tsinghua background. And the first one is try to, it's a use. The usage is mainly to assist the user in the so-called database navigation. And the second one is to assist the user's reading of the literature. So the first one, how to find, some needed database. Instead of to input those, quite specific keywords, you can directly ask it through this platform. Use the so-called natural language, and yeah, it will be very quickly give you some kind of the three. Normally, currently is a three candidate database for you to check, and you can have some follow-up question to narrow down your searching to see whether it meets your specific needs, and even to try to locate some database related to some specific discipline or research field. You can also raise some follow-up requirement to help the this AI tool to further narrow down the searching scale. Yeah. So through this way, it can effectively help the user to locate the needed or the targeted database. The second one here I show you is called the AI tool to help us to the reading of the literature. And as you see in Tsinghua, each users, whether the students or the faculties, they have their unique identity. They have their own page called My Library, and all of those literature article are listed. They have found it listed there, and at this page there's a enhanced tool, and with that patterns, the user can easily to translate the literature, and also to extract the main content of this article. So through this way, they can effectively read those. Sometimes it's I think the large amount of the literature in their process of the academic works. So with this, I think I just show you some of our very preliminary application or practice about how the AI can be applied into our daily library service. But I think with that kind of the experience or practices, some of the questions we can here raise for your consideration, with the AI-driven innovations in library service prevail in the future, what's possible implications? Will these phenomena, increasingly we incorporate the AR into our daily library service, will it lead to a radical restructuring of the library departments, as well as changes in their service content, patterns, and the experts involved? So I think these are the things we really need to reconsider in our future practices to have some, we call the forward thinking about these possible consequences or implications of the wider range application of the AR in library. Second one is, will this trend result in a scenario where librarians become increasingly invisible because it's become further automation, to rely on automation or the automated service when providing the professional service to our users? Because such invisibility inevitably lead to the further, some of my colleagues these days have been mentioned, the library has been marginalized in the university. So whether this kind of invisibility will further, lead to the marginalization of library and the librarians in university. So kind of issue of the, life and death, survival issue. And finally, view the increasing intelligence and automation of the library service result in the decline in user skills and training, potentially undermine the fundamental purpose and the meanings of the education. When you talk about AI application in the library, we emphasize the importance of the efficiency. But don't forget that the purpose of education is to training, to cultivate the talent. So the process of training also has its own meaning. If we, skip off this training program, what is the possible consequence for such kind of the change? I think that is also worth our double thinking. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jim, for sharing these experiences and your thoughts and reflections for the future implications, the risks and the opportunities for both libraries and librarians. It's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Flora Nlai Kuhn, who's the Chief Information Officer and University Librarian at the University of Hong Kong Libraries. She's going to talk to us today about library smart space building and service transformation at the University of Hong Kong. And Flora joined the University of Hong Kong in May 2021. She's passionate about driving digital transformation for the library and central administrative functions. Previously, she was the Group Chief Information Officer at Dairy Farm Company Limited, where she led an organisation-wide digital transformation. She drove the adoption of data and analytics and spearheaded the unification of the cross-banner customer loyalty initiatives. This presentation provides an overview of some of the key initiatives and outcomes of the library's digital transformation journey, and it also outlines the main challenges and opportunities for future development.
Thanks. Okay, let's see. I don't have the clock here, but that's okay. Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you about the Hong Kong UL experience, the Hong Kong U Library experience, and focusing on two things, the space transformation and the service transformation. Now, this is, when I joined Hong Kong U about 3 years ago, I come across this EAB study, and it's a 2030 landscape of the library transformation. So you can see the library is more than just a library now. The library has all these various components, from an art gallery to a meeting space to a tutorial center to classroom to VR lab to cafe to outdoor spaces. So I think we could all take note of this, because that's earlier a speaker talked about student-centric experience, and your students, your staff are actually looking for all that in our library, in our space. And I just want to show this. This is our 5-year transformation journey, and with the different strategic pillar and the focus. So today we'll talk about the number 4 mostly, transforming the learning environments and leveraging new technologies. So in terms of smart space, our goal is really to enhance the whole person learning and development experiences within the library. And the library is not just a place for books and reading anymore for any students. So we want to focus that as a theme learning commons, double up as an exhibit space. So you can see some of that later on. A space with immersive digital experiences, and an outdoor reading space, and cultural activities, and even a silent disco venue. So this is our main library on our second floor and the ground floor exhibit area. And also we have a digital interactive lab. And we have, because of our 111-year anniversary celebration, we have monthly exhibit now. So you can see some of the different ones. And we have 111 stream sculptures exhibition, and the artists actually donated all of that to us. And now we are holding a 回归雕刻梦的展览, so it's the reunification carving dream the exhibition. And we use, in terms of the transformation, we use a people counter so that we actually know what exhibit will draw more attendees. So we count people when they come in and exit a defined area. So this is one of the exhibit called Dr. Kantai Kern's Mind and His Own Step exhibition. It displays his 40 years of his life journey. So we can count that in April, he has over 12,000 visits, and in May, is about half of the month, he has about 6,500 visits. This is another theme branch library called the Tongfang Education Library, and opened in October 2023. It has a very different vibes. We have 18 discussion room, and we have an open study space, and we hold many different venues. We are the first one to hold a licensed human library within the space, and then we have recruitment talks and the student book launches. And we doubled the online, the on-site seating, basically. Let me see. So these are some of the events pictures. And the president came and congratulated us on the opening during this library. The silent disco movie is upside down, but you can still enjoy that. You can still see people dancing. So this is our music library transformation. Instead of holding books, we opened it up quite a bit. It has a tremendous sea view. If you come to Hong Kong, you can enjoy that. The people actually don't dance upside down, but we use it. We have a silent headphone, and we use the music library as such. So it was quite fun. It's over 100 people attending that event on last year. This is another space transformation we're doing. It's called a Digital Fine Arts Library, and the donor is Ko Wong Hui Ching Wendy. And it will be launched in September this year. It's going to be bookless, and it's digital, and it will combine the different fun activities like meditation, physical, and digital art, and we will have a very seamless digital immersive experience. And I would encourage you to, when you come to Hong Kong, just drop by, and then you can try it, experience it. This is kind of the layout. It's not a whole, it's not a very large space. It's about 5,000 square feet, but it will be well designed and well packed. This is our outdoor library. We don't have enough space especially in Hong Kong. Not like in China, our space is very, very limited. So we decided to extend outside the library into the general open area. So it'll be launched again in September to welcome the new students. We have 2 floors next to some classroom area. Yeah, we will cover it partially, and we'll provide lighting, and it will be 24-hour access. So in terms of seating, we'll increase by quite a bit because it's 24 hours and it's open all the time. This is another learning commons we have. It's called the GWA Learning Commons on the ground floor. We'll launch in 2025. We will create a gallery, dining, event, and learning space. So you would have a dine in the museum experience. And when we're not using it for that, we will open it up for all the students to use. So we expect to have an annual seat hours of over 1 million. Now, very quickly, I'll go into the library service transformation. Journey to open, some of the earlier speakers talk about openness. So in terms of Hong Kong U, together with the 8 government-funded university, we embarked on the open journey, and it includes transformative agreements for open access. So the listed 8 and 9 are basically, we have formed transformative agreements with this supplier, which is, I think, quite essential. And we are also having a pilot project with open access books with 3 participating universities, and I think the librarian from CUHK will talk more about that later. This is, in terms of our service, we have launched a system called the Research Information Management System. It has 2 components. One is for grant management. The other one is for output management. And with that tools and with the help of the Learning Research Support Group within our university, we have reached 51 highly cited researchers this year, and we ranked number 13 globally, which is a significant achievement. So this is the celebration with our president and our chairman also, and all the different professors. Now, in terms of staff counters, we have moved to a staffless counter, not totally staffless. We use some technology with Microsoft Teams technology to connect the patrons with the librarians and the back office staff, so they don't have to sit at the counter all the time. And we also implemented the Microsoft D365 customer service module to help with that. And we're going to have a ticketing system so people can take a ticket and then wait for the service instead of just lining up outside the counter. And I think it's been in place for a year and it's working out okay. And I think we'll seek additional enhancement. Internet of Things. We use it for environmental and sustainability control. So we have over 100 of these deployed already and in different rooms. So now we measure temperature, humidity, CO2 level. And in case people complain or question about whether it's too cold, too warm, we actually have the data to address the concern. These are some of the charts that we look at regularly about our environment. This is, we moved towards quite a data-driven approach, and we use the data analytics on our ER usage. We have dashboard on different things for, to monitor the different behavior of different groups, like, for example, when they might use certain things, and so that we can predict the usage pattern. So I think data-driven will be a key going forward strategy for our library. In terms of, this is another service transformation about the different collaboration with different parties. So most recently on 9th, we have held a Gen AI Academy with the librarian talking a lot about AI. So the librarian is no longer just about books and resources. We are venturing into various new technology and helping students and staff to understand how to use the technology to assist their learning and research topic. And we have 6 different sessions and over 400 participants, which is quite fabulous. Now, this is another AI activity that we have done recently. It's an AI book launch with one of our professors, and we also invited many startup and young companies into the libraries, and it has over 700 attendees in different talks and different booths. So it's very exciting, especially in AI. I was surprised that a lot of the attendees are young, very young people. So even high school students and will come and learn. So we need to catch up really fast because the younger generation will surpass us really, really fast if we don't. Okay, more smart tech to come. We're going to launch a constituent relationship management system. It's basically a university-wide data-driven platform for our event management, fundraising, activity, donation, networking. So it's all going to be automated and with a data-driven approach. So we can segment our donor into a different category and focus on our user a little bit more with their needs. Other smart technology, I think in China, you guys are doing really great on your robots. So we are also bringing some of the greeting robots, delivery robots, cell pickup station and kiosks so that we can serve our patrons 24 hours, basically. Here's an IoT-based device. One of the problems, I don't know whether you guys have this problem, is sometimes the students will put a bag on a desk and will leave it there for a whole day and claim the space. So we basically will implement an IoT-based device. So we'll monitor whether there's actually a person sitting in the chair. If it's over a certain period of time, we will mark that the person is not there and we will take action for that. And we're also working with a professor to implement an indoor navigation app. So within a building, the app will actually take you to a more precise location within a building, within a floor. Okay, we're also doing new digital student card. I don't think it's like new, but it's new for us that we are progressing and trying to just catch up with some of the technology. And right now we have 200 locations will be upgraded to support the digital ID card. The trouble with this digital ID card is we have to upgrade all the gate so that it can support it. So that's a pretty big investment. So we are taking it slowly. So finally, role of a library. What is really a library? It's certainly not the same as how you and I have grown up with. And I think Mr. Jin earlier talked about the death of a librarian. I think if we keep changing what our role is, the library is, and what the role of the librarian is, we will keep surviving. We survived the era of Google, we will survive the era of AI, and we'll embrace the next technology trend. So transform to a smart library, use smart technology, and it's definitely a journey. And that's all I want to talk about, and thank you for your attention. So here's my WeChat in case you're interested, but we'll talk to you at lunchtime. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. That was absolutely fascinating. We've learned a lot, I think, about the innovative, the engaging and the informative services and spaces and the journey to open access and knowledge, the exploitation of new technologies. A wonderful talk. Thank you very much. Our next speaker is Dr. Anna Valek, who is the president of IATUL. And Anna is going to talk to us about IATUL's strategy as a response to the challenge of the libraries of the future. So Anna is, as I mentioned, the president of IATUL, which is the International Association of University Libraries. She's an experienced library manager and an open science expert. She's also the head of the Library of the Department at the Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi. And she conducts scientific research and data management in various scientific disciplines, metadata for research data and data management support services. Anna.
Thank you, Kate, for this kind introduction, and thank you, Flora, for your presentation. At the very beginning of my presentation, I would like each of you to imagine the librarian of the future. What will he or she be like? What will they do? Please think about it. I would like you to take this thought with you after our meeting today, and I think it would be a nice topic for our discussion during the dinner. First, I would like to introduce IATUL, an organization I have the honor to represent today.
The International Association of University Libraries, IATUL, offers an influential and inclusive community for leaders of university and research libraries worldwide. It brings together library directors and managers from over 70 countries to exchange ideas, expand professional networks, create new collaborations, and work together on international projects, exploring the current significant challenges. The importance of our association has never been higher. The pandemic and its consequences highlight the need for collaborative and innovative approaches to problem solving. There is no better time for reimagining the role of university and research libraries as we seek answers to global challenges. IATUL is a voluntary international non-governmental organization of a group of libraries represented by their library directors or senior managers. I would like to share with you a piece of history. At the IFLA conference in Vienna in 1953, Dr. Hamlin, director of the Library of Chalmers University of Technology in Sweden, proposed establishing a section within IFLA to represent technical university libraries. The president of IFLA asked Dr. Hamlin to make a preliminary investigation and to report back to the IFLA meeting in Zagreb in October 1954. As a result, IATUL was founded in May 1955 in Düsseldorf, Germany, as the International Association of Technological University Libraries, an international forum for exchanging ideas relevant to librarianship in technological universities worldwide. Next year, we will celebrate our 70th anniversary. Since its inception, IATUL has grown from a small union of specialized libraries into a global association with broad inclusion. Its initial goal was to address the increasing importance of technical university libraries. As a voluntary organization with NGO status, IATUL was formally admitted as a section of IFLA. Dr. Hamlin, its founder and inaugural president, defined it as a union with practical cooperative purposes, as well as a forum for the discussion of all theoretical matters relating to these technical university libraries where international cooperation would be necessary and useful. In the 60s of the 20th century, IATUL became a fully independent organization. The expanded name of IATUL was changed to the International Association of Scientific and Technological University Libraries in 2009 to reflect the broader range of institutions which now make up the association membership. And in 2014, the General Assembly of IATUL extended its mandate to include all university libraries internationally, irrespective of their academic specialization. This change reflects the membership profile of IATUL, where the vast majority of institutions now belong to comprehensive universities. Therefore, its name was changed to International Association of University Libraries. To emphasize the continuity and tradition, we still have our original acronym, IATUL. IATUL is an organization of university and research libraries with primary personal target group library directors. IATUL facilitates collaborations, generates synergies, and promotes innovation in university libraries, especially networking. IATUL has more than 250 active members all over the world. They collaborate, create synergies, and promote innovation with the support of IATUL. The IATUL community meets at 2 events every year, an annual conference combined with the General Assembly and the IATUL seminar. This year's conference will be held in November in Auckland, New Zealand, and next year we will meet in Shanghai. I hope to see you there again. At the annual General Assembly, the members come together to decide upon the directions of the work of the association and raise matters of fundamental significance for the association. The executive board consists of the president, the vice president, the secretary, and the treasurer. The executive board is a part of the board of directors, with at least 6 additional members. Some of them are here with us today, Xinwan and Caroline. And some of them are with us online. On a regular basis, IATUL members work together with special interest groups. Special interest groups, so-called SIGs, provide the framework for ongoing international cooperation among IATUL members. In addition to the traditional annual conference, each SIG focuses on a particular subject areas and defines its own terms of reference, together with long and short-term goals. The SIG not only monitors its subject, but also discusses and advances it. All kinds of collaboration are possible, from online discussions to joint research projects. The SIG decides its preferred way of collaboration, and IATUL as an organization supports its activities. All employees from IATUL member libraries are welcome to join a SIG. There are currently 4 groups. First, SIG Information Literacy. The IATUL Special Interest Group for Information Literacy promotes collaboration and sharing of best practices among IATUL members in the area of information literacy. The Special Interest Group, Library Space, promotes discussion and exchanging ideas of the design and delivery of spaces of the libraries and services across systems and cultures. Special Interest Group for Library Services related to metrics and research impact, SIG-MARI. The third SIG related to metrics and research impact, which main purpose is to enable and encourage ongoing international cooperation and sharing of experience, knowledge, and resources among IATUL members in relation to bibliometrics in the context of research services in academic libraries and library services to help optimize research impact for individual researchers and institutions. Last but not least, we have a special interest group for library services related to research data management, SIG Data. The SIG Data promotes discussion and exchange of resources and supports infrastructure for e-research and data information management among IATUL members. I'm also very excited that the new special interest group will be launched this year, the main topic of which will be leadership in libraries. It will be chaired by our colleague from Hong Kong, Gabi Wong. As you can see, IATUL, through a member of its activities, works in many areas related to change and evolution in librarians' profession and the role of libraries. There are many areas in which librarians develop their competencies. This includes supporting education, creating space, creating and sharing digital resources, counteracting disinformation, and managing open publishing, open access, and open research data programs. In 2022, we began the preparation of the implementation of a new IATUL strategy. However, we did not want this to be just a general formulation proposed by the board. We decided to ask the entire IATUL community what they expect from the association, what we should provide them as an organization, and what would they consider valuable and beneficial. The primary purpose of strategic planning is to focus the association of what is crucial to serving the association members, and by extension the profession the association represents. It also provides a means of qualifying and measuring organization and programming success. Main assumption of the process are active involvement of members in setting directions for actions and strategic planning, strategic plan consultations during annual special events for members, developing activities in strategic areas through the activities of SIX and the entire community. During several meetings and workshops, we ask some important questions, like what is unique or valuable in IATUL for you? What sort of activities should IATUL consider to meet your personal and your organizational needs? First, during the Board of Directors workshop, we identified the main directions in which we would like to direct the discussion. The keywords that came from the discussion were later used were learning, sharing practices, networking, and providing solutions. This was followed by workshops with participants from our seminar in Zurich, Switzerland, and during our annual conference in the United Arab Emirates. A team of board members, including Caroline Pang and Xinwan Li, who are present here today, developed the main directions of the strategy based on the results of all meetings. This is what these works looked like. And these are the outputs. On the basis of our, on this basis, the first 4 and then 3 main directions were created, which are the basis of the new strategy. At its September 2023 meeting in Izmir in Turkey, the board endorsed a set of 3 strategic directions that will guide IATUL during the 2025-2030 period. They were also accepted by the General Assembly. Strategic Direction 1 is sharing practice. The statement is, we continue to build a vibrant international community of practice for university research and academic librarians by providing opportunities for professionals at all stages of their careers to connect and share. Active participation in a variety of forums and initiatives explores current practices and trends. Strategic Direction 2, strengthen our network. The statement is, as a leading global university library association, IATUL will foster professional ties that are respectful and mutually beneficial at all levels. It will be still a wide network of expertise for members to create common ground for shared goals. And Strategic Directions 3, empower our members. The statement is, through development of learning opportunities, we support colleagues to be always well prepared to deliver high-quality services that meet university research and education needs. We support inclusivity and diversity of the profession with opportunities for all broad audience to engage with the library and information science community. However, the formulation of goals is not enough. We have decided to identify specific actions to achieve these goals. Those actions you can see on the slide. For example, to offer in-person events that provide the opportunities to focus without competing commitments, thus to get to know each other and make connections, as we do now. To develop a mentoring scheme to match colleagues globally to learn from each other, or to identify and foster strategic partnerships and collaboration with global and regional professional bodies. To expand the number of interest groups based on current practice and emerging trends for greater participation and relevance, to explore opportunities to establish regional networking groups or events within IATUL, to use the expertise from special interest groups to exchange the latest ideas to build well-connected networks and help solve problems. And finally, to enable active participation in development opportunities by use of a variety of platforms to present practical and future-oriented training, content that improves knowledge, strengthens qualification, and improves career paths. We hope that through our joint activities, involvement of our members, discussions and initiatives, we will be able to say that our activities support future academic libraries in their challenges and long-term goals. One of them is artificial intelligence in libraries, already presented today by our distinguished keynote speakers. Please join us tomorrow at the AI Parallel panel hosted by IATUL. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Anna, and very much looking forward to that session tomorrow. Thank you very much. Our final speaker is Louis Shan-Xuin, who's the chairman of CNKI. Delighted to invite him to the stage to talk to us about the Future Learning Centre and to share his thoughts and practices. He is the chairman of CNKI, a senior engineer, has a PhD in nuclear science and technology from Tsinghua University.
Thank you. And before my presentation, I would like to give some words. First of all, after several online meetings during the past years, we finally meet here in this room. So it's a great pleasure on behalf of CNKI to give a warmly welcome to all participants. It's about more than 800 people in this room and another 9,000 people online. You are warmly welcome to this meeting. And since today, I will give some discussion and to make my idea accurately and understandably, allow me to use my mother tongue. And I would like to leave the works to my professional interpreter to give my presentation in English. 我这个因为今天这个很多还是这个讨论性质的。
Actually, today I would like to discuss some ideas and I would like to have my report translated by simultaneous interpreters professionally. So today my topic is the thoughts and practices of CNKI. My presentation is divided into 3 parts. First of all, the evolving role of libraries. Second, the Future Learning Center building. Third, collaboration initiative on future co-creation. As you know, the libraries have over 5,000 years of history. In carrying forward the civilization of humanity and cultivating talents, libraries play a very important role. I remember IFLA has an important definition. The libraries, actually the function and mission of libraries are to preserve human cultural heritage, carry out social education, transmit scientific information, and develop intellectual resources. Going from print age, electronic age, to internet age and intelligent age, libraries have always been pursuing to provide users with a well-aligned, efficient, equitable, and open pathway for information access. Actually, each age has its own characteristics. As we move into the intelligent age, how do libraries keep up with the times? That is a central issue for us.
Before we answer the question, we have to know the future trends. We can observe that the current environment, the society, the resources, patterns, the tools for the technologies, and the needs of the users keep changing. And also, the libraries has been featured by more and more personalization, intelligent development, transformation to serve the learning. So In this process, we need the creation or innovation to be unleashed by the persons and for the persons, both in the physical environment and cyber environment. So we can see that a library is a space for learning by nature. So by this nature, we have to look at the three buzzwords to be more specifically look at the analysis in terms of knowledge. The knowledge has been actually carried by the text, printing text, and electronically demonstrated, and from the single model to multi-model transformation. So the service of the knowledge could be shifted from the lending and indexing and advisory AI cobalt and the immersive learning to the precise profiling. In terms of the buzzword of learning, we can see the shift of the needs from the learners, from the very general use of the resources for the learning all the way to the precise service provision. So also right now we can see the patterns and the ways of learning also have been diversified by the interactive patterns, explorative patterns, and collaborative patterns of learning. So when it comes to the buzzword of space, we can see the transformation from the library management dominated by the physical existence to more intelligent space, which is a combination of physical space and cyberspace based on the Internet of All Things. So after this kind of analysis, when we are looking at the road or the pathways of CNKI to answer the future questions, which is to open a new space for the evolving role of libraries. So the Future Learning Center, in the beginning, was proposed by the Ministry of Education and initiated actually with the participants like Senior Inspector Mr. Song Yi from MOE and many other leaders of the department of the MOE who are initiating this plan. So to the Future Learning Centers, a lot of ideas are roaming on. For example, the Future Learning Center, is it only a center for learning purpose, or this center is going to be the combination of both learning purposes and research purposes, or to support the research and decision-making for the universities and colleges at large? And we believe that the Future Learning Center is supposed to be something driven by the new technologies as a support for the overall and omnipresent reform of the education system. The major feature of the center is to provide service for the personalized and individualized learning. It can be faced with the different targets of cultivation of talents by providing the skills and means. We believe the Future Learning Center should be the combination of physical environment and the cyber environment. And we hope that the Future Learning Center will be the center for the students to learn and the teachers to learn, and also the space for the researchers, as well as the space for all the people that need and will to learn. They can observe knowledge, they can be more intelligent, they know how to be skillful, and they can nurture their interests, and also they can learn throughout the whole life in this space. So we believe that the Future Learning Center should be dominated by learning and the learners, by providing the service, by remodifying this space for learning. And these are the three elements of the structure in this whole engineering of the construction of the Future Learning Center. It is a space of innovation. It is a space to empower the talents in the future. So this picture is our configuration for the Future Learning Center when it comes to the specific service to be provided through the three elements: space, data, and platform, and in which data would be the base for this center, and the platform is the tool for the connectivity, and space is the carrier of the knowledge to be transferred. So I'd like to touch upon each one of these elements to specifically report to you the CNKI's observations for the Future Learning Center's development. I have mentioned the three elements to be developed: data, comes first. On one hand, we have to enrich the archives and collections of the library. At the same time, we must promote the quantification of the data, as well as diversify the businesses of operating the data. And we invest heavily financially in terms of all kinds of resources to make it more quantifiable. It can empower the development of the base of the library. It can also diversify the core functions of the library and provide additional services. And also it can be empowered by Gen AI and AI technologies and to empower the teaching and learning process. So when it comes to the platform, we must use the AI data and also the different tools and new technologies to empower the ability of provision of the services by the library. So we developed the LLM-based software platforms and intelligent tools which can empower the management of the platforms, and it can empower the whole process of teaching and learning. It can empower the universities to optimize the disciplines configuration. And the third one is space. We need the physical optimization of the environment or the space, be it the offline physical environment or space of the library. At the same time, we have to expand the cyber environmental space for the library so that people can immerse themselves into this learning environment. And that is what CNKI is doing in terms of the intelligent library development. So I'd like to report on specifics. The first one is about the data. I mentioned already that CNKI has finished the process of the quantification of the data. The purpose of the library's development is developed from the indexing basis to the vectorization of the resources. This is a really good base. So with this vectorization of the data, all the services can be upgraded, including indexing. The means of indexing could also be optimized towards more free and input-output more intelligently, and also the architectures of the literatures can be more optimized, and also the selections and as well the identification of the resources could be more precise and automatic. The user's experience will also be better off. Second, it is about the platform. In order to facilitate the future platform's development, we have 6, all of them, which is faced with the learners, researchers, decision makers, and libraries. So these are the 4 platforms. The first one, to the learners. We provide the whole process functions for learning purposes. That is based on the previous function added by the AI technologies and Huazhi LLM to support the learners to learn how and do it well, and assessment. This is the whole process provided for the learners. For the researchers, as I have mentioned before, this is could be a center for the researchers, so it can be assistant, it can be a co-assistant to the researchers. So the researchers can use this function by this platform to select the viewpoints and highlights through the summarization based on the big data. Through this platform, the efficiency of the research can be enhanced dramatically, and it can save a lot of energies for the researchers. Also, it can become the companion for the researchers to read and to have a more in-depth reading of all of these research materials. Third, it is faced with the library. And we have the central office of the library, and in this central library that has been demonstrated in Shanghai Library, which is comprised of all elements to better off the management, and also the efficiency could be enhanced. So we have the data management subsystem, resource data subsystem, data governance subsystem, and data service system, data empowerment subsystem, and a visual analysis and a display subsystem. The fourth one is to be faced for those decision makers from the universities to optimize the decision made by the leaders to optimize and manage their disciplines, cross disciplines, and intelligent decision-making for the cultivation, exploration of talents, and to make the predictions. So right now, this plan has been initiated and launched in Shanghai University. The third one is about the space. It is still in the process of exploration. Right now, we are cooperating with Tsinghua University and University of Aeronautics and Astronautics of Beijing. And we discovered that in this regard, we can see some gaps. So in the future, CNKI is going to put more emphasis on the development of this part. So through the current development of the AI Experience Center, we can improve the integration of different elements of learning, and intelligent service provision would be more detailed and specific. Previously, I was talking about the 3 layers of the CNKI on how to develop the future learning center. Then I will move to the third part of my report, which is about the collaboration initiative on the future co-creation. First of all, it is about the concept in the beginning. And DG Song has mentioned that the concept mentality need to be changed, which should be dominated by learning, and to provide the service to the learners to satisfy the need for the future. And second, we have to upgrade the service. We have to embrace the AI, relying on the advantages of the space of the libraries and advantages of the data to cultivate the intelligent space for learning. The third one is to enhance our capabilities, especially the capabilities of the librarians. So they need to have the basic skills. At the same time, they have to know how to master and use the big data and AI technologies. Fourth one is to develop the ecosystems for the co-creation purposes, so the governments, the higher education institutions, the different faculties, the libraries, and the enterprises should be combined and pool their efforts and wisdom together to deeply integrate it with each other. And the last one is that this is a new thing, talking about the AI. We are in the process of exploration, so we have to enhance the development of certain organizations dedicated on researching on the targets and trajectories and pathways of the development of the Future Learning Center. Previously, Professor Jin from Tsinghua University, in his introduction, by the end of the introduction, he suggested that some questions, and I believe this is also a question that as an enterprise we can answer to this question about the future trends, about the future needs for the development of the libraries. And we believe to this question, if the library can satisfy the need of the society, better integrated into the universities to push forward the societal development, then currently the AI and other new technologies provide a very valuable opportunity, because the future libraries, if they can seize the opportunity, not confined to the current pathways or the configurations or the targets, to provide a space for learning and teaching, we believe that the future libraries can become the forefront to lead the future education in the university. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was very much food for thought. So, colleagues, we've heard about AI as an enabler and how we integrate this into our libraries, systematically innovating our services and our professional practice for the benefit of our users. We moved to consider both space and service transformation, how the library is now more than just a library for its users, harnessing data to develop solutions and challenging us to think about what is a library and how we will survive and flourish. Our next talk took us on the 70-year journey of IATUL, of collaborative networking and innovative activities in its strategic response to the future, developed together and supported by us coming together to share our practice. And we ended with the thoughts and practices from CNKI for the Future Learning Center in the Intelligence Age. And I know we've got very much to consider and to look forward to, with our discussions continuing over lunch. And please join with me to thank again our distinguished and expert speakers. Thank you.